GigaSpaces has recently added a document API for the 8.0 release. Can you describe what this is and what it means for users?
Yeah, sure. So basically our cloud-enabled application platform was designed to provide application and data scaling solutions. And when I say data, I'm talking about our in-memory data grid. And it was initially designed to work with stricter object model, that is Java POJOs. And essentially you can read and write POJOs into this data grid, but this model is a bit strict in the sense that evolving or changing this domain model actually requires you to recompile and redeploy your application onto the grid, because you're changing literally the class definitions of your POJOs or the data schema. The new document API basically enables you to evolve your data model as your application evolves, or as your business requirements are evolving. And essentially it gives you all the benefits of the data grid APIs and capabilities, but with a much looser schema model. Essentially what you're doing is you're writing a set of properties, and you can at any given point in time add properties or drop properties from a certain data type, and that gives you a lot of flexibility in the way you do things with the data grid. Needless to say that all the nice capabilities of the data grid, like querying and smart data updates, transactions, all of that is also applicable to this new document API.
What kind of applications need a documentless API?
Well, think in today's world, software as a service is a big thing. Online services is something that is prevalent more than ever. And think about companies like Salesforce, Google, Amazon. When these kinds of companies suffer from downtime or need to take down their application, that means they lose a lot of money, and they actually hurt their customers, which are also losing money because of that. Now, for these kinds of companies, a downtime is not always a result of a failure. It's actually a result of them needing to upgrade their application, whether it's the business logic or the data model. So with this kind of document API, they can actually update or change their domain model as their application evolves. And for example, if you have a book in Amazon, Amazon business guys might want to at some point add a certain property to that book item, and so instead of taking down the entire application and updating the data with this new property, think about an option where you just add this property on the fly to existing instances. So even better, add this property to only new instances, so you can even have multiple versions or schemas of the same data type coexist at the same time. So essentially we're talking about enabling those customers these guys have to keep their websites always on, and if those websites...
How does the schemaless API interact with our other APIs? I mean, the POJO API, the JMS API, can the data live side by side with those other APIs?
Yeah, definitely. So think about think about like a hub and spoke type of thing. So we have the kind of internal data representation within our in-memory data grid, and what we know how to do is we know how to expose this internal representation via various APIs, whether it's POJO API, whether it's JPA, for example, document, or other types of API which you mentioned. So essentially you can even write a POJO on one end and consume it as a document on the other end, or vice versa. So it's really about the scenario or the use case, the applicative use case that you're tackling, by which you will choose the right API to use. And you can use various APIs even for the same application.
When is this capability going to be available? When will 8.0 be released?
So 8.0 is scheduled for the end of January, where we're going to have both the JPA API, which I mentioned, and the document API available. It's also worth mentioning that we have an early access program, which our users can use to kind of get a preview versions of what's coming and give us their feedback. So, they can actually take advantage and see what this API looks like even now.
Thank you very much.